go with the podcast. It's not the podcast. It's the Slamcast. I am your host, Brandon Liggan. I am joined, as always, by the two-man booth co-host, Nick Horaceck. We're not changing up our commentary teams unlike WWE. But
yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to Battleground this upcoming weekend, because this was a pretty big wrestling week, and this does, I guess you could say, officially kick off the new era of wrestling, where we now have, in some capacity or another, wrestling on television or WWE Network 5 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's the world we live in right now. Let that sink in. 5 consecutive nights a week almost. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Anyway.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the draft that was or wasn't, depending on your perspective. We'll talk Battleground. That's how it takes place later this Sunday.
Yep.
It's up before the actual show itself. Nick, what's going on now?
Got today off of work, so I'm just gonna sit at home and play video games all day. I'm still waiting on my Kurt Angle Make Wrestling Great Again shirt, so.
I think a lot of people are waiting on a lot of things from Kurt Angle, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the draft. There was one big, huge bit of news, and it was kind of a continuation of a story that we talked about last week when we had said that Brock Lesnar had been, or the UFC had been informed by USADA that one of Brock Lesnar's out-of-competition samples had been potentially dinged for a violation. That was the official language.
Mm-hmm.
It was then come out a few days later after we recorded that Brock alleges that it was a part of his asthma inhaler and something that he was taking, one of the steroids that was in that. Flash forward to yesterday? Tuesday?
Roughly.
At
least the last couple days.
Monday, Tuesday?
Somewhere around there. When
another story broke that a second in-competition sample had also been dinged, and someone, quote-unquote, with knowledge of that investigation process, said it was the same estrogen blocker that John Jones was flagged for. Now it gets interesting, because while I've said before that this will not in any way, shape, or form affect the SummerSlam main event, because WWE has far too much invested in Brock Lesnar to A, cut and run, B, cut and run right now.
Yeah.
If the SummerSlam main event or the SummerSlam match with Randy Orton was in any sort of jeopardy, they wouldn't have even announced Orton. They would have immediately pulled it. But that cat is out of the bag. I think, unless a major change in the hype of this story, or the coverage of this story, or how the people accept the story, I think Brock still is on SummerSlam.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They've already started building this up. It's gonna be Brock and Orton at SummerSlam. It's not gonna. Because technically he wasn't in competition for WWE when he got dinged. So
yes, and then a lot of people in the mainstream media and in the IWEC say, well, doesn't WWE's testing policy cover this? Yada yada yada. Who knows what Brock is at? What, because of Brock's part-time status, what his testing and screening process is like in WWE. All I can say is, I think, and my strength opinion on this, if Brock was likely taking this, I don't think this was anything sort of steroidal.
Oh, hell no.
Anabolic to help put on muscle. I think this has maybe been HGH to help with his recovery, because of the fact that he's 38 years old and, hasn't fought competitively in 5 years, and the ball game's over. Bam. Sorry, baseball. That's what I was doing before we started recording. I was watching baseball, and now the game's over. This will not affect SummerSlam. but this may, in fact, affect Brock's UFC status, because standard operating procedure for anybody who violates any sort of USADA doping violations or any sort of USADA testing, immediate 2-year ban from the sport.
Yeah.
And at Brock's age, I think that 2-year ban is pretty much as close to a death sentence as we could possibly get. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about that, and I think that's something that we should all brace ourselves for. Mark Hunt's going to get paid, though, probably. That's for sure. For, going in there with somebody who may or may not have been on something. They'll pay Mark Hunt to either go away and shut up, or just shut up in general and maybe come back for another easier fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if this all comes to light how I think it's going to come to light, I think Brock Lesnar has fought his last fight in the UFC.
Yep, and I mean, he kicked Mark Hunt's ass, so that's bottom line.
Yeah, I don't think he needed the whatever he was taking to do that. But
no, I think, like you were saying, it has to do with his age. He's 38, so
yeah, he's 38. He's put his body through years and years. Yes, he's had apart from the diverticulitis, no major
injuries. Yeah,
his career, but just the wear and tear of a lifetime of athletic competition. Because this has been a guy who, from his high school wrestling career, has been in competition in some form or another. He didn't really pause all that long after the NFL thing blew up in his face, after the second go at professional wrestling didn't work out in Japan.
Or he did wrestle Shinsuke Nakamura.
He did wrestle the King of Strong Style, and he was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But that's a whole other podcast, because that was a legendary clusterfuck.
Yes.
That ultimately hurt New Japan for decades, because
for years.
New Japan is only now just recovered from the Lesnar debacle, because again they essentially build new stars when they thought it was going to be their guy. And you can actually kind of credit Brock Lesnar for the rise of Shinsuke Nakamura and Tanahashi.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we pretty much said what we're going to say on the Brock Lesnar thing. So you know what?
This will develop more, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this.
But I'm going to stand by that. Brock wasn't on steroids or PEDs or any fucking thing like that. He destroyed Mark Hunt for 3 rounds.
Yeah, no, or if he was, that wasn't the reason why he was able to physically dominate Mark Hunt that way. I just think he took that to get himself in that condition, and maybe did pay attention to the cycling.
Yeah, and he's also Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock Lesnar. You can't visibly say that he's, look, because he looked like this. Now, he's always looked like this.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
He's always been a big, scary, jacked up human being.
Exactly.
He's a white boy and he's jacked. Deal with it.
Exactly. That's always been his quote to when anyone has thrown the PVD case. So now it's got a little bit of light, or a little bit of stick to it. We'll see what happens. But that didn't stop Brock Lesnar from making, not really an appearance, but being featured on the draft, on the inaugural edition of SmackDown Live. We
had a SmackDown thread up in the Facebook group.
Yes, the first ever, which will, I'm sure,
be first
a recurring thing, because, it's a live event. We'll talk about it live as it happens. Yep. Look, a lot of people, the draft has happened. The rosters have been set. The quote-unquote NXT 6, who I was pretty much wildly off base with. I mean, I got a few.
I think so. I think it was definitely a lot of kind of some surprises.
But
we'll get into that. But we'll start with Raw. The GMs were announced.
Yeah, which I was, surprised at WWE, because I honestly thought he was going to go slip back.
You were half right.
Yeah,
that way.
Well, I think everybody was half right, because I think at one point in time WWE had released Daniel Bryan had released
a statement that was released that someone screenshots of the Yes movement. So
yeah, so that happened already. So that was already out of the bag. But I think Mick Foley being announced as Raw's general manager was truly surprising. And it is to show you that Mick Foley will act as sort of, because Mick Foley can be a heel and he can be a face. He's obviously much better as a face than he is a heel.
Yep.
But I mean, he has, as under the Mick Foley guise, worked as a heel before, and it was, effective to some respect. Because also Mick looks pretty fucking svelte, by the way. The DDP yoga, again, has claimed...
And I'll say it, actually meeting him in Great Falls about 2 months ago, mm-hmm. he had slimmed up a lot. He is in a hell of a lot better shape than I think he'd ever been in his career.
Yeah.
I think he just dropped like 30 pounds,
Yeah, it's very impressive what he's been able to do, and, hats off to Mickles. But I was truly surprised by Stephanie McMahon's selection of Mick Foley as general manager. I thought that they were obviously just going to go with the tried and true Triple H and the Authority version 2.0. Mm-hmm. But no. But this is obviously a new era, so Stephanie McMahon made a new choice. Yep. The draft itself, I would say there were some surprises. I mean, 1 and 2 were pretty obvious.
Yeah.
3 was a surprise.
Well, do we have a list of the full...
order? Hang on, let me get it on my...
Yeah, please. I will say that...
I can remember the first 5 of them off the top of my head. Yeah. Number 3 was a bit of a surprise in Charlotte. I thought, to me, the biggest surprise. I thought Charlotte would go high. I didn't think Charlotte would go 3 high. Like, that was surprisingly high, I thought, for Charlotte. I'm not saying she's not worthy of it, but the fact that they gave the women that high of a distinction was, pretty darn impressive for me. Also, I like the 5-pick round format that they kind of did. It was very interesting. This was much better off than the old draft. Remember the old draft? I mean, I guess they couldn't do it the old draft, where like Raw and SmackDown would face off, and then whoever won the match. Yeah, whoever won.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, because then you had things like John Cena going to SmackDown back to Raw on the same night. You had the announced teams get shaken because of that Cole and JR switched.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of announced teams,
we got of the changes that they made. We'll talk about that later, actually.
Okay.
Talk about that at the end. Rollins went over 1. Ambrose was 2. That was no surprise. Charlotte going 3 was a surprise, but the fact that she's the women's champion
definitely makes her a priority.
Yeah, makes her a high priority. AJ Styles went 4th overall to SmackDown, which was a surprise. I thought SmackDown would have...
AJ Styles,
I thought SmackDown would have went with, at least at 4 overall, I thought it would have been John Cena, because that would have been John Cena being a safe, easy, and reliable pick. And number 5, as Mick Foley says, called it a pick for the future. Finn Balor is finally going to be called up to the main roster, and it's headed to Monday.
Yeah, they had everyone sitting in the Performance Center watching SmackDown, so I guess they were also still debating on the picks like hours before the pre-show.
Really? Like this wasn't decided? Like
no, I saw it was Brian Alvarez who tweeted something that they were still trying to figure out their NXT picks hours before the pre-show. So, but yeah, everyone was sitting in the Performance Center. They're all watching the draft, and they had different reactions. Nia Jax got really emotional when she found out she was getting drafted. It's like, it's gonna be
It's going to be interesting. We'll move on. Okay, round 2. There was certainly no surprise here. Roman Reigns going in the top 10. I mean, even given with his current prohibition status,
he's the guy.
He's the guy.
And he knows
also, the face. They'll run this place with number 7 to SmackDown. John Cena. Brock Lesnar was number 8. And here's the thing: what so surprised me is I thought what I heard before was the quote unquote part timers were ineligible for the draft. They would just be like free agents to be added willy-nilly.
When they needed him.
When they needed him.
Well, Taker, I could see that because he only wrestles once, or he may never wrestle again.
Yes, I
but
think
Brock, he's still got I think he's still got a few years left with WWE, so I guess he's gonna be the
face of Monday Night Raw, or like the Predator Monday Night Raw every once in a while when they need him.
Yeah.
Look,
Brock's gonna come in, send somebody to Suplex City, and we're gonna get a match. So.
And then leave. Orton
and get on top of his wife.
Yeah, his SummerSlam opponent went 9. No surprise there. Also with the New Day. So this is when things start to shape up. It's like, all right, so it's shaping up. We're going to have the tag titles on Raw, the women's title. I almost said Divas title. I almost said it. I caught myself. SmackDown will have the WWE Championship, or at least for now. Or it assumes. We would assume. So that's when the show starts to get up. All right. So that's where we move it to round 3. Things are continuing still as normal. Sami Zayn, LL11, solid pick. Bray Wyatt going to SmackDown, which was an interesting pick because they decided to split up the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to really function because it's shown that when they tried to split them up before, it
didn't work.
Fizzled out. It fizzled out. Well, I think it's because they tried to turn Eric Rowan face. Remember that? Remember when they tried to turn Eric Rowan face? Yeah.
Oh, yes. He had that amazing match with the Big Show at tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs. The stairs match.
Yeah, no, never again. Never again are we going to see Eric Rowan go face. Never again. So Bray Wyatt going 11th isn't that surprising, but what's surprising is they split up the Wyatt family. The Boss going to Monday Night Raw. That just makes completely sense. You can't have the Divas, or God damn it, can't have the women's title without some serious women competition. And, Sasha Banks, if you look up in that women's wrestling competition, she is that. Becky Lynch going to SmackDown, though, at 14. What does that mean for Becky Lynch? All those people who want to see Becky Lynch with that women's title, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I guess we're going to... but Becky's now got a big chance to shine.
And just be, like, the thing on SmackDown and wrestle whoever is on... I don't even remember who's on SmackDown at this point. I'll go back and read it off later. But, yeah, just that one was a bit of a head-scratcher. I would have liked some consistency there. They were going to have the women's title on SmackDown, on Raw. Have all the women on Raw.
Well, I think what's going on is we're going to, considering one of the other draft picks from NXT was one of the tag teams, I think the NXT, the tag titles, the women's, and the tag and the women's titles, along with the world title, are going to be both brands. So they're going to have that whole bragging rights thing there, and so yeah.
I hope speaking of bragging rights, I hope they don't bring that pay-per-view back. But after Becky Lynch was Chris Jericho, who
drink it in, man.
For him to go 15, I was started to get surprised by, but the way they made it sound was like they're picking veteran leadership. So all right, that sounds okay. The 4th round is where I thought there were some serious missteps. Rusev going to Raw, Miz going to SmackDown, I have no problem with.
Okay.
Baron Corbin, though, going as early as he did. Baron Corbin going over Cesaro. Really? Baron Corbin over Cesaro? Really? I'm disappointed in WWE creative. I'm so disappointed. I mean, I'm not saying and that's not saying I'm shitting on Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin has put in the work, but I mean, God damn it! Just really, are you not paying attention? It's like they're not paying attention. They're just gonna do whatever.
They also put Ziggler and Corbin on the same show, from what I saw. So
9 times out of 10, we'll probably see a rehash of that feud. Now we'll go Enzo and Big Cass going to Raw. I had no problem with. Then at 5, 21 overall is when my heart kind of broke a little bit. But then I kind of got a little bit of, at the same time afterwards, a little bit of like a good feeling too. The Bullet Club, Gallows and Anderson, or the other half of the Bullet Club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, going to be on Raw. That means they're going to break up, which has been one of the best bits that they've had on WWE TV in the last month or so is the Bullet Club. AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. I thought what they've been able to do together, both in the ring and on the microphone, was perfect. They actually made AJ Styles seem like he has charisma, which is something TNA tried to do and failed for years.
Yeah.
They put Ric Flair with him and couldn't make it seem like...
And that honestly made no sense to begin with, because the way they turned AJ into this cocky fucking complete opposite of what he actually is, but whatever.
This is where it kind of like started shaking my head. But then, at the same time, I'm thinking of this, and I remembered...
Finn Balor.
Finn's on Raw. So, I was thinking, there you go, that's why they broke him up. Because if they're going to throw Finn Balor, who's this hotshot from NXT, coming up to Raw, the big show, because SmackDown is the minor leagues, dog. Like, let's Graves and Booker T for giving us that one.
God damn it.
Gallows and Anderson going to Raw means Finn will have his buddies that he rolled with in Japan there to help him adjust to being the new guy in the locker room. And from what all I keep on hearing about, and I heard on Jericho's podcast this week, if you listen to the most recent episode of Talking Shop when they did the Talk is Jericho, when they did the Talking Shop quote-unquote reunion episode with Gallows and Anderson, I think Luke Gallows has become like locker room morale guy. Like he's the guy that everybody likes in the locker room because he just comes in there, he's funny, he does silly stuff, he's not a big ego. So I would assume that that would have been probably one of the bigger concerns about Finn coming up into the main roster when he's already been this established star down on NXT. Doesn't really know anybody up on Raw. So having these two friends that he's already close and personal with, what he calls Carl Anderson his best friend in wrestling, it was pretty good for him. Pretty good for him. So that's why I got over it. And then also, maybe if they wanted to creatively, OG Bullet Club reunion. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Guy could hope and dream. 22 was the big one though from NXT. American Alpha making the trip to SmackDown. I think this is going to be perfect for these guys. Although that there is a lack of tag team titles on SmackDown, unless they bring the NXT titles up with them. I don't know.
No, the Revival are the tag champs right now.
Well, there's no Revival tag match booked with them, or they've already.
No, I won't get into spoilers for Takeover Brooklyn, but American Alpha's
not on.
They're part of it. They're not in the tag title match. I know that for sure.
Well, there you go. 23 though, that was the first big grown one though. This is where it kind of starts to get making even less sense. Big Show going to Raw. I'm not shitting on the Big Show. I'm just saying at 23, when there's so many more people, I felt that could have been picked ahead of him. Like pretty much everybody in the 6th round that we're about to name, I think could have went ahead of the Big Show. Everybody who went after Big Show, I felt, maybe except for the exception of Nia Jax, I felt should have been picked over Big Show.
Yeah.
It's Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Cesaro, Natalya, and Neville. Neville goes to Raw, Natalya to SmackDown. Cesaro went 28th overall in the 6th round, and then cut a promo where it was kind of, he might have said something. I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are talking about the promo. I think it was, quote-unquote, a worked shoot, maybe. But Alberto Del Rio goes to SmackDown, and then Sheamus goes to Raw. That concluded the live portion of the draft, and I didn't watch the
Yeah, but I guess Paige also went to Raw.
Breaking up real-life couples, man. That's sad.
Carmella went to SmackDown, and Zoe and Cass are on Raw, which made no sense to me.
Well, look, it made a lot more sense to me because Carmella hasn't been with Enzo and Cass for months. Even when they were still on NXT, she didn't really come out with them. She really kind of came out with them on the house shows to put herself over. Once she had established herself, I think they had separated her and she had just become her wholly own entity, not associated with them. On-screen wise. Like, it's always kind of something that people knew, but they didn't have to do it on-screen. They didn't have to have them come out with her during her matches. She didn't have to come out with them during their matches.
Right.
The Golden Truth is going to go to Raw. Usos on SmackDown. This is just kind of just breaks up with it. From here, there wasn't really... I thought Apollo Crews should have been higher than in our 9th round pick. Alexa Bliss, though, was
SmackDown.
Was a surprise. A lot of people thought Bayley was going to go in that role, and then some people are going to assume that Bayley's going to be Sasha's tag partner at Battleground this weekend. We'll see about that. The Shining Stars, like these people that get taken. Now we're getting into the real round 10. We're seeing the Braun Strowmans, Breezangos, the Bo Dallases of the world. Eva Marie got drafted. Mojo Rawley got drafted. That was to me the big.
That was definitely a surprise. I thought he would have been brought up with Zack Ryder, and there's going to be some there's going to be a tag title, whatever. Zack was going to go for the tag titles. He needed to find a partner. He brings up Mojo.
I think they're giving Zack one more singles, not run, but look at a single. They're not going to consistently book him to win or put him in matches that mean anything, but he'll get a little bit more time as a singles wrestler, and then if that doesn't work out again, Mojo's up here. We'll see if that worked, because that kind of worked in NXT, or at least they worked at it. So, the undrafted also, poor Heath Slater. Which, I don't know if you saw Heath Slater's face after the house show loop in Maine this weekend, in New England, and the Northeast in general. But Slater Gator looked pretty beat up. I'm not a doctor, but that looked like a broken orbital socket to me.
Oof.
Slater looks like he's going to be out for a little while. Then there was reports today that now this could be used as an angle. Heath Slater now the quote-unquote most wanted free agent in wrestling, or WWE. Possibly working indie shows, possibly working Evolve, which is now sort of hint, hint, wink, wink, WWE's other developmental territory. We'll see as this develops. I mean, if anybody could get this most wanted free agent, hottest free agent in wrestling gimmick over, it's Slater. I've said before, he has charisma in spades. Like we saw in the three-man band, he was by far the most interesting part of that. So we'll see how it goes. But that was our draft. It does set up interesting dynamics because as of now, or potentially after Battleground, SmackDown may only have one title.
Mm.
And it was also announced on Raw, when right after Stephanie McMahon introduced Mick Foley, that the Cruiserweight title is coming back, and it's going to be exclusive to Raw.
Right, because we've got Tajiri, who re-signed with WWE. I think Grand Metallic has also signed, and so is Kota Ibushi.
A lot of the guys. Oh yeah, I'll pull up. I am so stoked for that. By the way, I am over the moon. Enjoyed. Excited, enthralled. So many superlatives, adjectives I could use to describe my feelings on Kota Ibushi finally coming to WWE for full time. I am very excited. We'll see how this affects his deal with DDT, if he'll still be able to run the Ibushi Pro Wrestling Institute. But the Professor, at least for now, has a future in WWE, and that makes me happy. Yeah, so it's gonna set up an interesting, dynamic potentially after Sunday, which we'll talk about now. Back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get this.
The Battleground.
Make sure we are recording. So yeah, Battleground.
All right. So yeah, we're going into our Battleground preview. There's a lot. I mean, this has been an interesting card because the build been kind of built around the draft and where people are being built as the last time you're going to see this match. It's going to be the last time you're going to see all three members of the Shield match when it's done. The last time you see, go on and on and on.
So let's start with. Let's see where we go. We'll just start from. I'll save some of these for later. But
yeah, Becky
Lynch and Natalya.
Natalya. Yes.
I think both ended up on the same show.
Yeah, I think this. I don't know if this feud we've seen the end of this feud, or this feud is just beginning, or what. But I'm gonna go with Becky on this one.
Yeah, I'm picking Becky. I think she gets her win. She's gonna get her, deal, and then yeah.
That's it. I don't know if we've seen the end of it though. That's where I'm at with this though. Like it's really hard for me to place that and see it. Then the last time we'll see that. But we move on.
Yeah, let's see. Let's do the New Day versus the Wyatts.
Which, congratulations to the New Day. They are now officially the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions in history.
Yes.
They will pass London and Kendrick because the titles will not be on the line in this show.
Yep. Well, they've already passed the record, so.
Yeah. They're now officially recognized as the longest reigning WWE.
Yep.
Tag Team Champ.
That whole thing. I'm not gonna do it, but
yeah. Well, we've done.
Yeah, is it safe to say this match is sponsored by Bootios?
I don't know. This match is pretty creepy though. Like this has been, I guess WWE has tried to do the serious deletion, as opposed to the final deletion, which was not serious.
And it was comedic and hilarious.
And all in all its glory, but it's really hard to tell what they're doing. Like I've heard people say that this is going to be used to split up the New Day, every manner of things. I think the Wyatts win because the Wyatts need this win as a team more than the New Day.
Yeah, titles aren't on the line, so New Day can take the loss and
exactly nothing, no harm, no foul. Okay, on to the next one.
Yep, let's go to The Miz versus Darren Young with Bob Backlund in this corner, and for the Intercontinental title.
Okay, here you know what I'm going to say. Darren Young is going to be your new Intercontinental Champion.
Okay. Wait a minute, did Darren Young get drafted to Raw?
You already closed it already.
Oh.
I think so.
Okay, so just whatever happened, I'd say Darren Young wins. Mr. Backlund is in his corner, and who is doing things at his age that I could do at 26.
Yeah. That video of him sliding down the banister.
The escalator. Just holding himself up.
Yeah, that was impressive. Like I could not do that I couldn't do that. Just no way I could do that. So what's next?
Yeah, so
I'm going out on a limb. I feel that they're building up Darren Young for a reason, and it's not just have him lose to the Miz and then fade back into obscurity. I think Bob Backlund is going to make Darren Young great again for a little while, and then we'll move on to something new.
Yeah. Let's go to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
Yes, in the fight that will continue to go on forever because they were both drafted to Raw.
Yes, this is not the end of it.
No, I don't think they were.
They'll be in a fucking home, damn nursing home somewhere battling, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who are we going with? Who are you going with, Nick?
God, I love Kevin Owens' bit during where he's taught the panel.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking great. This is exactly why this guy is as good as he is. If you pick me sooner, I'll wear your little Raw shirt. It's just fucking He's an asshole, and I love it.
Yeah, he's definitely got the bully heel, tough guy heel thing down. He's
perfectly
playing it well, really, really well. So
I'm picking Sammy.
I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a little dissension here, so yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rusev and Zack Ryder for the U.S. title.
Oh, Rusev and Zack Ryder. This is one of the times where I want to pick Zack Ryder, but I just know.
Rusev crush.
Rusev crush.
Yes. And then he crushed Lana later.
Yo, every day.
God damn, you are one lucky son of a bitch, Rusev. I salute you.
Every day. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Rusev. All right, and now here's one that's going to be interesting how this plays out. Sasha Banks and partner of her choosing against Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Again, that 30-day, rule seems to be used when it's convenient for them.
The 30-day no-compete card is nebulous, unless they count it on house shows, but whatever. We'll digress from that. There's a lot of speculation around that this is the moment in which Bayley will make her debut.
Yep.
I'm not totally certain on this, and I was kind of thinking this in the back of my head, and we did kind of, it was brought up in the forum. Maybe Nikki Bella makes her return. Who knows? I mean, if not, I think it's a little too soon because, I mean, if you follow the social media...
She just got cleared, didn't she?
Yeah, she's just doing ring work at PC now. I think that timetable is a little too close for her to be back and, at full ready-to-go shape by Sunday. Mm-hmm. Who knows? How much work does she really need? I think, though, it makes more sense if Sasha brings Bayley into
yes,
the roster, or at least into the WWE proper. Whether or not she will stay on NXT afterwards or then be brought up, we shall see. But
yep. I'm picking Bayley's going to be the partner, and Sasha's going to get a victory over Charlotte in the match.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Sasha's team's going to win, and that's going to carry all the momentum going into SummerSlam when she finally wins the title.
I completely agree with you.
All right. And we are just down to, we're down to two more, because we had another 6-man tag team match playa. John Cena, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass against The Club, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson.
Yes. I think this is Bullet Club's swan song, I guess, together, you could say.
At least this incarnation of it.
Well, which
for the moment being.
Which for me has always been Bullet Club 2.0 with AJ, because I think after Finn left, I mean, AJ did do a great job of, taking it up to in New Japan, but Finn did start it.
Finn is the OG leader, yes.
Yeah, so I think the Bullet Club wins this match. But Enzo and Cass specifically, impresses some people out there tonight. And people who weren't already impressed by Big Cass will be impressed tonight. Yes.
Yeah, by the way, I'm going to say Cole is no Tim Kitzrow. Bada Boom, really? They're calling it Bada Boom Shakalaka?
Yeah, no,
it's too much. You are no Tim Kitzrow, Cole. Shut up.
No, it's
Shut up, Michael!
It's not good.
No. Yeah, so, and now, the big one, the main event.
Yes.
The Shield triple threat we have all been clamoring for a long time now.
Pretty much ever since Seth Rollins swung a steel chair into the back of Roman Reigns.
Yes.
We've been...
When he bought in.
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins on this. Something just in the gut tells me Seth Rollins will bring the WWE title back to Raw. Because what are they going to do with it on SmackDown? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've got some fresh matchups there.
AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose, okay, maybe. John Cena versus Dean Ambrose to give John Cena the potentially 16th title run.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Roman Reigns is going to fall in this match. I'm calling it now. It's just who is the one walking out the title at this point. I'm going to say Dean retains. I'm going to say Dean retains.
You're sticking with it? I'm saying Seth Rollins wins. The way they did the two teases over Raw, it makes more sense.
I'm picking Dean, and mostly because I don't know what they do at SummerSlam with it, but
we will only have to strap ourselves in and wait and see from there. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
That has been our Battleground preview.
Fuck him! I talked him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker! Fucking bullshit! Bullshit, Hulk Hogan! I'm the rare all-American gold medal.
We didn't do a cold opening this week, but obviously our thoughts and hearts are with everybody who may or may not have known somebody who was affected by the absolutely deplorable events that happened in Nice, France last week. I can only surmise my thoughts on the matter in the words of our greatest living Iranian American poet, the Iron Sheik. And Shaky Baby says it perfectly. Fuck the terror. # pray for Nice. Couldn't say it any better myself, Shaky Baby.
Yeah.
Fuck the terror, indeed.
Fucking bullshit!
So, let's do some plugs.
All right. I'm over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187, Twitter Gaming Pegasus 187, Facebook at Horaceck, Wrestling / Everyone's a Facebook group. Slamcast gets posted there every Friday, Saturday-ish usually.
Whatever it gets up.
Yeah, I'll always try and have it up well before Sunday, but things happen. I get in the way. I go drunk, go to a wedding reception, and sometimes I end up trying to become the Prince of Bong style.
Well, see, so you can't hang with me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's put it this way.
I'm a seasoned professional. I've been doing this pretty much every day for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Give or take a few weeks when I had to quit. I don't recommend trying to smoke how I smoke. You've seen the size of the equipment that I...
Yeah, I have on your Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm unfuckwithable in that regard. Okay, the King of Bong style is not just a gimmick, man. It's
a way of life.
It is a way of life, and is my life. So, if you like our Facebook, check us out. Or if you like our Facebook page, go check us out on our other place, which is the Retro Unlimited channel, where we've done this podcast on this channel for, God, pretty much, who knows? This actually did start out.
We're hitting about 2 years. We've hit 2 years.
About 2 years. We're well over the 2-year mark, because every once in a while I see the initial posts when I started to promote it on Facebook before we had the group. Yeah, man, it's been a long, strange trip, but we're gonna keep doing the funny, and we hope you enjoy it. So go check out Retro Unlim on YouTube. We're on there as well. Go check out independent wrestling, no matter where you live. I guarantee you, there's civilization.
There's people.
There's people. Well, not enough people, and obviously increases your odds of finding. But no matter where you live, within a reasonable distance, there is professional wrestling available to you for a very affordable price, and it is a quality, wholesome family entertainment. I guarantee most of the places that you won't see will be, to a under 13 audience. You don't really see a whole lot of the deathmatchy, bloody, gutty.
Or in the case of
stuff.
Joey Ryan, blow pops getting shoved up his ass.
That's beyond wrestling only. and ISW and all those other. You only see every place outside of the Northeast and Philadelphia. Well, I can't say that the Northeast. Outside of the Northeast corridor, that's wholesome family wrestling available to you. All you gotta do is find it. Check out Ace Pro Wrestling. That's my home promotion, I guess, for now. Maybe dropping some spoilers about some events that may be.
Okay, I gotta just take us out. I gotta go answer this quick.
Okay, so for Nick Horaceck, for Broken Michael Burhan, for the absent Dave Wade, Miguel Leon, Tom Shaw, yada 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 yada. That's Nick Horaceck. I'm Brendan Liggan saying go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and happiness. Done and done. Meow.